someone you trusted broke their word, and the silence that follows is just deafening, isn't it? It's that sudden gut wrenching drop when you realize a reality you believed in has just fractured. Your mind starts racing, replaying every conversation, every text, every look, and you're left wondering, was any of it real? Did I make it all up? How did I not see this coming? That feeling of betrayal isn't just in your head, it's a profound form of emotional pain. Neuroscience has shown that the sting of social pain, like rejection or betrayal, can activate some of the very same neural pathways in our brains as physical pain. It's not an overreaction, it's a real biological event. Your brain interprets that broken promise as a threat, triggering an internal alarm that floods your body with stress hormones. That is why you feel so disoriented. Your heart pounds and why you can't seem to focus. But you do not have to stay stuck in that place of shock and confusion. Your healing journey starts now, and it doesn't depend on them, their apology, or any explanation you might never get. It depends on you. In this video, we are going to walk through 5 immediate, practical things you can do right now to take back your power, calm your nervous system, and start moving from a place of betrayal to a place of strength. Step 1. Acknowledge the truth and validate your feelings. First things first, you have to stop making excuses for them and stop minimizing your own pain. It's time for some radical honesty. You need to look at the situation clearly and say to yourself, they broke a promise, I was let down, and it hurts. Don't rush this part. Don't immediately try to forgive them or look for a silver lining. Acknowledging the wound is the only way you can start to heal it. When someone breaks their word, it's not just about the action itself, it's the violation of trust that cuts so deep. This person made you a promise that connected you to a shared future, and when they broke, they didn't just abandon that future, they abandoned the version of you that trusted them. The pain is real, the anger is valid, the confusion is normal. So often we immediately turn the blame inward. You might think, if I were just better or smarter, this wouldn't have happened. This is a trap. It's a defense mechanism that keeps you stuck in a cycle of shame. The truth is, their choice to break a promise was about their character, their priorities, or their limitations. It was not a reflection of your worth. Step 2. Create intentional space to process. Once you have named the hurt, your first instinct might be to fix it. You'll want to call them, text them, demand an explanation, anything to close the loop. Resist that urge. The second step is to create intentional space, both physically and emotionally. Real healing doesn't happen in the heat of the moment, it happens in the quiet space you make for yourself. This is not about the silent treatment or playing games. This is a strategic move for your own well-being. Mute their notifications. Decide not to initiate contact for a set amount of time. Maybe it's 24 hours, maybe it's a week. This space turns down the emotional volume and stops the cycle of being re-triggered by every buzz of your phone. It allows your nervous system, which is in a state of high alert, to finally start calming down. Use this space to grieve because a broken promise is a loss. You're grieving the loss of what you thought you had, the future you imagined, and the trust that was shattered. Grief isn't just in your head, it's in your body. So move it out, go for a long walk, and let the anger pump through your legs. Put on a sad song and let yourself cry without feeling sorry about it. Punch a pillow. Journal it all out. The goal isn't to obsess over what they did, but to give yourself a chance to process the pain. By giving yourself this space to mourn, you're honoring the fact that what was lost mattered. After the initial shock, it's natural to get stuck in the why loop. Why did they do this? Why me? Why didn't they just tell me? While those questions are understandable, they are ultimately powerless. You may never get a satisfying answer, and looking for one keeps you dependent on the person who hurt you for closure. The third and the most empowering step is to consciously shift your focus from why did this happen to what can I learn from this. And let me be clear, this is not about blaming yourself. This is about shifting from the passive role of a victim to the active role of an observer in your life. Asking what puts you back in the driver's seat. Start by asking, what did this situation show me about the other person? People show us who they are all the time, but we are often too invested in who we want them to be to see it clearly. A broken promise is just a piece of data, it's information. Next, ask, what did this reveal about my own boundaries? Maybe you realize you have been letting smaller inconsistencies slide for a long time. Maybe you learned that you need to be much more clearer about your expectations from the start instead of relying on unspoken assumptions. Finally, ask, what has this taught me about what I value? As painful as it is, this experience sharpens your understanding of what truly matters to you. It might make you realize that for you, integrity and reliability are completely non negotiable in a relationship. That insight is gold. It becomes your compass for how you engage with people from now on. Shifting from why to what turns a pointless wound into a powerful lesson. Step 4, meet and keep one small promise to yourself. When someone else betrays your trust, it's easy to stop trusting yourself. You start to second guess your own judgment. How could I have been so stupid? My intuition is clearly broken. The self-doubt is incredibly corrosive because your relationship with yourself is the one you can never walk away from. That's why the fourth step is a direct antidote. Make one small, almost laughably simple promise to yourself and then keep it. The integrity of your world starts with the integrity you have with yourself. When that's been shaken, you have to rebuild it one tiny brick at a time. The promise should be so small that it's nearly impossible not to follow through. Promise yourself I will drink 1 glass of water when I wake up tomorrow. Then do it. Promise yourself, I'll take a 10-minute walk at lunch, then do it. Promise yourself, I will put my phone away for 30 minutes before bed, and then do it. Each time you keep one of these micro promises, you send a powerful message to your brain. I am reliable. I can count on myself. I do what I say I will do. It's not about the action itself, it's about the act of keeping your word to you. You are literally creating evidence that you are trustworthy. This is the most practical way to restore the self respect that gets shattered when someone else breaks their word. Their actions might have broken their promise, but your actions will rebuild your foundation. Step 5. Define your path forward. After you have acknowledged your pain, created some space, learned from the experience, and started rebuilding self trust, you're finally operating from a place of clarity and not raw emotion. The fifth and the final step is to intentionally decide on your path forward regarding this person. The power is now yours to define the terms of any future engagement. This isn't about just waiting for them to earn back your trust. It's about you deciding what you are willing to offer. Based on the new information you have about their character and your new clarity about your own boundaries, you get to choose. You are under no obligation to return to the way things were. In fact, that would be ignoring the painful but valuable lesson you just learned. Your path forward might mean recategorizing the relationship. You may decide you can still be friendly, but you will no longer rely on them for anything important or share your vulnerabilities. Or you might decide the path forward requires a new way of communicating with more explicit agreements. In some cases, the wisest path forward is no path at all. Sometimes a broken promise is the final piece of evidence that a relationship is fundamentally unhealthy, and the most loving act for yourself is to walk away. And if you decide the relationship is worth trying to repair, this is where a new conversation begins. Rebuilding trust is not a solo mission. It requires consistent, transparent effort from the person who broke the promise. It is their job to be accountable, but it is your job to be clear on what that must look like for you. This isn't about punishment, it's about wisdom. It's about honoring your experience and protecting your peace. So let's recap the 5 things you can do right now. First, acknowledge the reality of what happened and validate your hurt. Second, create intentional space to process your feelings. Third, shift your questions from why to what to reclaim your power. Fourth, make and keep one small promise to yourself to rebuild self trust. And fifth, define your path forward. These steps won't erase the pain overnight, but they shift you from a state of helpless reaction to one of empowered action, putting the keys to your healing firmly back in your own hands. For severe betrayals, especially things like infidelity, don't hesitate to seek professional help from a counselor or a therapist. It's a sign of strength, not weakness. Remember, their broken promise doesn't define you. It is a painful experience, but it can also be a catalyst for building a stronger, wiser, and more resilient you. If this was helpful, Please subscribe and share this with someone who needs this. And in the comments section below, let me know which out of the 5 steps you need the most right now. Your story matters.